Hi, my name is Aileen Garcia, as you may know me as Mrs. Garcia, and I'm going to be presenting to you today a PowerPoint that I created for a course in my master's program. It is titled Questioning Strategies, and it is based on a 6th grade social studies lesson in hieroglyphics while studying the unit of ancient Egypt. So first I want to get started by talking about the depth of knowledge. The depth of knowledge is a system designed that categorizes activities based on the complexity of thinking that is required to complete them. There are 4 levels, with 1 being the lowest and 4 being the highest, and it allows educators to create more engaging activities and a better learning experience overall because it requires them to think on a deeper level. The types of questions that are asked in the first level, which is recall, would include the what, who, when, where, and why questions. Very basic, lower level of thinking. Students are recalling information based on their memory from what they already know, and it's activating prior knowledge. The types of questions that I would ask my students for this lesson in level 1 would be 1, what are these pictures showing? After showing them a picture of what hieroglyphics are. 2, who used hieroglyphics? 3, what were hieroglyphics used for? 4, when did Egyptians use hieroglyphics for communication? And 5, how would you describe hieroglyphics? And the next level is level 2, and it is applying knowledge and skills and basic reasoning. Students must be able to understand and explain a concept or skill in this level of DOK. The types of questions that are being asked in this level are like, how did it take place? Where did it take place? How does it operate? Why does it operate? Going into a deeper level of reasoning when explaining the lesson or concept. The types of questions that would be asked in level 2 for this particular lesson would be 1, how would you compare hieroglyphics to communication today? 2, how did the use of hieroglyphics affect communication for ancient Egyptians? 3, what were advantages of hieroglyphics? 4, what were the disadvantages of hieroglyphics? And 5, explain how symbols used in hieroglyphics teach us about life in ancient Egypt. Level 3 is strategic thinking. Students are able to apply their knowledge, such as making arguments and developing research questions in this level. They must be able to apply their knowledge in different contexts in this level as well. The types of questions that are typically asked in this level are, how can I make use of it to solve a problem? What is the cause or the reason? Why does it solve a problem? And what are the intended or the expected outcomes? In this level, the types of questions that I would ask for this lesson would be 1, what other cultures have used symbols as a form of communication that can be compared with hieroglyphics? 2, how did hieroglyphics create power for pharaohs? 3, explain how effective hieroglyphics were at documenting the life of ancient Egyptians. 4, after reviewing symbols that were used in hieroglyphics, what can you conclude about what was important in the lives of ancient Egyptians? And then 5, how would you interpret some of the common symbols used in hieroglyphics compared to what they really mean? The next level is extended thinking. Students are engaging in critical thinking at this point. It is the most intense level of thinking. This includes developing or creating original ideas and solutions. The types of questions that are typically asked in this level would be like, what do you think, believe, or feel? What will or could happen? Or what is the relationship between one thing or another? Whatever the topic may be. For this particular topic of hieroglyphics and ancient Egyptians, I would ask my students to complete tasks such as create illustrations and symbols to represent your everyday surroundings, explain how hieroglyphics contribute to modern day communication, writing, and symbols. If hieroglyphics didn't exist, how would have ancient Egyptians communicated or recorded their lives? This includes their economy, storytelling, or even their language. And then lastly, do you believe hieroglyphics was the best way to communicate during this time? What else could have been done? Like, what may you think is a better idea? This gets students kind of thinking a little bit deeper, like, what would I do if I were in their shoes? So when I want to implement these questions as formative assessments, I can easily use them on exit tickets, online games such as Kahoot and Blooket, or I can even ask questions, and if they know the answer, they can shoot me a thumbs up. If they don't, a thumbs down. Or they can even use their fingers to rate their knowledge 1 to 5 using their fingers, 1 being the lowest, 5 being yes, I absolutely know it, and 1 being I don't know it. If I were implementing any of these questions in a summative assessment, I would definitely make it a multiple choice test, or I would even allow students to verbally answer the questions, as some students aren't really great at test taking, myself included. Or I'll even give them a small assignment, such as writing a paper about their knowledge of the concept of hieroglyphics. Digital tools nowadays are very important and crucial in the classroom as times are now progressing with technology. So some digital tools that I would personally use, and I still use to this day, are Google Classroom, especially when it comes to discussions between classmates, because it's like a forum. They can post, they can talk and comment, and similar to like what we do for my school's master's program are discussion questions. I would also like to use Edpuzzle for the students who choose to present their work digitally, because it allows them to work on presentations, and it also allows teachers to give them feedback. Other options are available that are very similar to this as well, but Edpuzzle is specifically for this age group, and it seems to have worked perfectly on my end. Other than that, that is my presentation on questioning strategies for ELM 550. Thank you.